Hello, welcome back to Part Time, and for this episode we have a classic from the 1980s, I suppose. I guess it's in the 80s. 1988, yes. John Carpenter classic with Roddy Piper, They Live. They Live is a 1988 science fiction horror movie written and directed by John Carpenter. It stars Roddy Piper, Keith David, and Meg Foster. In the film, Roddy Piper plays an unemployed drifter named John Nada, who comes to Los Angeles only to happen upon a unique pair of sunglasses that reveal that the ruling classes of the world are in fact a race of aliens bent on oppressing mankind. With the aliens' control ever widening, it's up to the Rowdy One himself to stop them and once again restore hope to all humanity. Okay, They Live. It's, Ryan, this is one of my, I guess it's a horror movie, but it's one that I quite like. It's also kind of science fiction-y.
It's horror, science fiction, action. It's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Not much romance, but everything else.
Yeah, not much romance or drama, but it's got a lot of hits to the nuts. One of the co-stars, one of Roddy Piper's co-stars, they have a fight sequence where Roddy Piper gets kneed in the balls just vigorously.
So, as always, as you join me and Judd here for part-time, there will be spoilers. This movie is pretty much about Roddy Piper finding a pair of sunglasses that lets him see aliens that walk amongst us and killing them and trying to expose them to the world.
Yes.
That's pretty much it.
It's a very straightforward movie. That said,
well,
I mean, I guess it's straightforward.
It's straightforward in a way. I wouldn't say it's as straightforward as Sleepwalkers was probably more straightforward than this. Because there are things in this that, you know.
There's more subtext in this.
There's like, things that we don't.
They're thematically, it's a deeper film, which kind of sounds weird because we're talking about
They Live.
But thematically, it's a deeper film than Sleepwalkers because this is actually, I mean, yes, it's a horror sci-fi movie, but there's a lot of social commentary on here. I mean, and there's really no social commentary on Sleepwalkers.
Yeah. So we start out with Roddy Piper, and they don't actually call him by name the whole movie, I don't think, but his last name is Nada, and that's how they list him in the credits at the end. But he's just walking around. He doesn't have a job anymore. He's basically, I guess, homeless, and he's looking for work, and that's how we open on our hero in this movie.
We open to him walking to a theme song that you will be very familiar with by the end of the movie.
Yes. If my biggest critique of this movie is that we needed some music variation because it was the same song the entire time, pretty much.
I like to label it the walking theme. Like every time he has to walk someplace or he's walking with someone, it's doom 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 doom. You know, it's just this.
It's the same.
It's the same
every
song,
time.
like it loops. And it's written by John Carpenter, and John Carpenter does. For those of you who like John Carpenter movies, you know that he does a lot of his own music, which is great, I think, because you know he does have a passion for music, which you know. More power to him. And he wrote the Halloween theme song, and that in and of itself is amazing. But this one, if you've seen a lot of John Carpenter movies, you could listen to the music and pretty much know that's John Carpenter. But like you said, it's it would be nice if there was a little bit more variation.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But he now gets a job working construction.
Yep.
And he makes a friend there, and he goes to a soup kitchen, I think.
Yeah, the guy tells him, he's like, if you don't have a place to stay, I know where you can stay. And it's like a soup kitchen, homeless shelter type thing where he can get a hot meal and a good shower, you know, and a place to sleep. But while he's there, I guess his friend has a place to stay, but he talks to him while he's at the soup kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess he shows him where it is, but like, throughout the movie, you see him passing television sets, whether it's he's walking on the street corner looking into stores or something, and you know, there's a lot of this consumerism. You know, all you need in life is this, this, and this, and it's like just telling people what they need, and I guess his new friend is a little bit more cynical, and he's like, they're just holding people down, you know, and all this other stuff. And and at the beginning, Roddy Piper's like, you know, he's like, I believe in America, you know. He's like, I think, you know, you work hard, you know, you can succeed, and you know, I guess a typical American dream type deal. But while they're at the soup kitchen, I don't know how early on in the film, but he stumbles across a meeting from like.
Well, yeah, it's in the church.
Yeah.
And there's a meeting in the church.
And throughout the broadcasts, like on TV, you see like they call it, like the authorities call it a terrorist faction, but it's somebody hacking into the signal trying to get messages out saying they're controlling you. You know, they're here to make you sheep and all this other stuff. And the meeting he stumbled across is the people who run this little underground syndicate.
And while he's there, he finds a box of sunglasses.
Yeah. And initially he just thinks they're just sunglasses, you know. So he's he takes a pair of sunglasses with him. So he
takes the box with him. Right? So he puts them in a garbage can.
That's right. He takes the box with him. He puts them in a garbage can, but he
takes one pair.
He takes one pair for himself, and I don't know when exactly he puts them on. He's on a street corner.
I think it's after that he puts them on. After he takes them out, and he sees
he
sees the signs at first.
Yeah, he sees
and
like
everything's
billboards.
Black and white when he puts them on, but all the billboards that are normal billboards without the sunglasses, now they say things like obey or buy, or consume, and they have all these different subliminal messages in them. And so he's starting to be able to see these things, and then he sees some people that some people that are normal, but some of the people, when he looks at them, don't look normal.
Yeah, they're like almost like not necessarily fully skeletal, but it's like their teeth are showing, and that you can see like muscle patches right here, but like they look very skeletal with like very almost like they had their skin stripped off.
But they're aliens, basically.
Yeah, they're essentially they are aliens. So in disguise, and basically what it amounts to is the aliens have sort of infiltrated human society, and they're essentially controlling us. And I don't know what their motive is. I mean, they talk about.
I think we really get into all that.
They talk about wanting to use up and move on to another planet. But the thing is they don't use us for food. You know, that we're not food sources, not like V or anything like that. But they're controlling humanity and sort of.
They're changed the atmosphere of the planet to suit them, and they're going to use up our planet and move on to the next planet, basically.
Yeah.
And I think the only people that, and you find out later that some humans know about them and are working with them, and I guess they're going to get to live on, maybe. Yeah,
they're kind of selling out, and for like they're giving them fortunes and stuff like that, and it's obviously Roddy Piper's very shocked when he first puts on his glasses, and he's looking down like a guy's buying a newspaper, and he looks all skeletal, and he's one of the aliens, and he hands the newspaper guy some money. Newspaper guy is a normal human being. He doesn't know anything about it. He looks down and he sees the cash, and on the cash it says, "This is your God." So it's like they have subliminal messages everywhere. So
he goes in a store, and some lady that he's looking at, that he can tell what she is, she realizes he can see her for what she really is, and she has this watch on, and she calls the police on it, the alien police.
Yeah, it's like it's a communicator for aliens, and some humans get them too, the humans that are in on it, but like all the aliens have them, and they can use them to teleport. They can call, like, I guess if you want to call it headquarters, you know. So, and also the aliens have these floating probes that fly around but they're also invisible. Invisible to the naked eye. If you have the glasses, you can see them. And so Roddy Piper freaks out and sort of makes a scene in this grocery store.
Yeah.
Because like he moves from the newspaper vendor and he runs into a grocery store. That's where the next part is. And like he kind of flips out on this old lady saying, what did he say? He called one lady formaldehyde face.
Yeah.
And he says, "You look like you had your face dipped in like year-old cheese dip or something." Or say it was something like he was talking about how ugly she was.
Yeah.
And he talked about it, like he brought up the glasses right there amidst everybody. He was like, that's when he called the lady formaldehyde face. He was like, he looked at the clerk and he's like, "See, she looks okay right now. You know, I put these glasses on and all of a sudden she's like formaldehyde face." So that's when
she knew that.
That's when she knew.
Was.
He knows, he could see who she really was. So that's when she radios. So
he ends up killing the two policemen.
Oh well, yeah, he runs out.
Aliens,
he runs out, and the cops. The lady had called the cops on him, and he runs out to the alley and he kills two alien policemen, and he takes their weapons.
He had a shotgun, right? And
yeah, a shotgun, a billy club, and like
he ends up getting into a bank.
I
don't know if he knew it was a bank when he went in there.
No, he didn't.
But he goes into a bank with a shotgun.
He runs around the corner, and because he knows these probes are looking for him, flying around, and everybody's looking for him. So he runs out of the alley and he runs around the corner into the first building he goes into. And when he turns around, he's in the middle of a bank and he's got like a shotgun with him.
And as he looks around, there's a lot of humans, but there's also a lot of aliens in there.
Yeah, and that's when he he utters the famous lines.
We'll definitely have to put that clip on here, so it's on here.
And that's what this movie's really known for, is this one line, and
that he wrote.
Like, apparently I heard somewhere that he gave Roddy Piper gave John Carpenter a notebook of like different stuff he was thinking about saying in promos, and that was one of the things in the notebook. And John Carpenter implemented a lot of the stuff, one-liners, into the script or whatever. But yeah, so he says the famous one-liner, and he just starts shooting all the aliens in the bank.
Well, I mean, I guess we could just show them right here.
Yeah, we can. I can play the clip for you right now.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
So, after he has opened fire in a public place.
In a very public place. There's a lot of people in here, but he guns down several of the aliens. Mm-hmm. And that's when he first realizes that the communicators can make him teleport, because he sees somebody communicating, reporting on him, and he says, "Mama don't like tattletales." And he goes to shoot the person, and they click a button and they disappear. So he's like, "What the heck?" So he runs back out of the alley, and he's about to kill another cop that runs into him, but the cop's a human.
Yeah.
So he doesn't kill the humans.
He gets him to run away and leave him there.
Yeah.
He kidnaps a woman and takes her car.
Yeah.
They go to her house.
The woman's actually played by the same actress who plays Evelyn in Masters of the Universe.
And I didn't realize it at first till he called her Evelyn. I was like, that's where I've seen her before. She does have she has distinct facial features.
Yeah, her eyes are really
very bright. Yeah.
Very bright. So, they basically go back to her house, and apparently the glasses that he has, if you wear them for prolonged periods of time, it causes severe migraines.
Yeah, so he takes them off.
Yeah.
He tries to tell her to put them on.
Yeah.
And she won't do it. Then she tricks him and throws him out the window of her house.
She cracks him over the back of the head with a champagne bottle.
Yeah, and knocks him out the window.
He dives out of a window almost.
And it's very high up.
Yeah.
But he survives.
Yeah.
And as this happens, the police are on their way. He escapes. Does this lead to when he runs into it? He goes to find the glasses again because he put that box in the alley.
Because when he dove out, I thought the glasses broke or something.
But I think the glasses were left in their house. It was one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other.
I'd have to rewatch the scene,
But anyways, he doesn't have glasses with him, so he goes back to get another pair to the trash can, and he goes to the box, and he notices that the trash people are.
Well, when he goes to the trash can, it's empty.
Oh yeah.
So he he sees the box in the back of the garbage truck. So he opens the garbage truck up, and he goes in there to find the box, and he finds the glasses. And then the garbage men think the thing's closed, and they tilt the thing backwards, and he falls out, and all the garbage falls out.
Garbage falls out.
But he gets the glasses, and he, I think this is where he runs into his buddy.
Yeah, his friend. I say friend. He finds him, and he throws him some cash, and he's like, "That's what you made in the past couple of days." That's
he went to the construction site first, and found the guy.
Yeah.
And he told him to leave him alone because they knew people were looking for him.
Yeah, yeah.
So then when he goes back to the alley, his friend comes and finds him and throws him the money.
Yeah.
He throws it and it flies across and lands in the box. Right, he's holding the box.
Yeah, Roddy Piper's holding the box of the glasses.
They're a good distance away.
They're pretty good distance
money,
and he's like, "Here's your money." I mean, we're probably about 12, 13 feet away. He throws it and it rings the box directly.
It was pretty neat. And but Piper wants him to put on the glasses, and this big fight ensues, and it goes on and on and on, and it was a good fight scene. It was a fun fight scene. But
Roddy Piper gets kneed in the testicles probably about 13 times.
Yeah, and he ends up bruised, and he eventually is able to force the sunglasses on to his friend.
Yeah.
And so
that's what the whole fight was over.
Roddy
Piper says, "Where are these glasses?" And his friend, "I ain't putting those glasses on." So that's
it really wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it really wasn't worth it. But they have this epic fight scene, and he finally forces the glasses on this guy, and I doubt he has to drag him very far, but he basically goes to the end of the alley. He's like, "Look, So
and there were two people at the end of the alley.
Yeah.
That are aliens.
Yeah.
And he sees them. So, and then he sees a flying saucer thing or whatever in the sky.
Yeah.
So that was so he sees it now, and so now they both have glasses, and they go check in at a hotel.
Yeah, and they're kind of hiding,
and then they run into another guy with glasses.
Yeah.
And he knows. Does he know that from the construction site?
Maybe the soup kitchen, I think.
Maybe it was the soup kitchen.
Think it was
he knows
the soup
them
kitchen.
from.
Yeah.
So he knows them, and he lets them know about the underground organization.
Yeah, the meeting that they're going to have.
And the meeting they're going to have. So they go to the meeting.
Yeah, they go to the meeting, and they get upgraded to contact lenses that just came in.
Yeah, and they don't hurt.
Yeah, they don't cause migraines or anything like that.
Hurt you. So they both put these contacts in a scene that, as somebody who wears contacts, I can tell you, you would not just pop your contacts in like that. Without, I couldn't do what they did.
Roddy Piper's a heck of a man. He just.
But they have the contacts now, so now they can see everything for what it is all the time.
Yeah.
Without the sunglasses. And in the meeting, that you see a TV of the broadcast that was being hacked into and so you get to hear a little more information. This is where they talk about the atmosphere being changed for them. And where they talk about how they're using up the resources and then moving on to the next planet, and so it's not the first time that the aliens.
I think this is where, during this little meeting, I think this is where they mention human beings being in league with them, and exchanging fortune and reward for, helping them out. I think.
But I do know that they meet up with that girl again that threw
Yeah,
out the window.
yeah.
She shows
Evil
up.
Lynn shows back up and
Yeah.
says, tells Roddy Piper she's sorry that she didn't know, you know.
So see, I think the sunglasses got left at her place, so we're supposed to think she put them on at this
Yeah.
point, so
Okay,
she knew
yeah.
that that's how she found out.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you know a little secret we'll get to later. That's not how she found out.
No.
But
No.
anyway,
No.
so he's talking to her, and I do want to say one thing that we don't really find out. I kind of wish we found out more about how the Resistance found out in the first place that these aliens were there.
All they say is that scientists quite accidentally stumbled across a signal. You know,
Oh, they found the signal.
they found the signal, and what it is that like the aliens are broadcasting the signal, I guess globally,
And that's what's disguising
that's
everybody.
what's masking everybody and covering up all their subliminal messages. Like without this signal, they would look like skeletons to everybody. But I guess the scientists stumbled across a signal. He said by accident, and that's how they found out.
Okay, yeah,
So.
but that's about all the background we get about how they found out about the
Yeah.
aliens. So anyway, as she's apologizing, the wall blows up, and
Yeah.
the aliens pour in.
Yeah, and they're
attack
like
them.
SWAT task force, you know, coming in.
They
shooting
start gunning everybody down,
Yeah.
and a bunch of the resistance dies. There's a couple people you see start grabbing the contacts, and they start taking them off the table. They're
Yeah.
trying to get everything out of there. I don't know who all survived or not. We know Roddy Piper and his buddy survive,
Yeah.
and they get out, and Evelyn survives, but
Yeah.
she's not with them.
She's not with them, but
They
like
lose them, and they
Roddy Piper wants to go back for her, but they're kind of like bottlenecked into an alley. Roddy Piper and his friend, and the SWAT force is kind of closing in, and they're shooting them, and Roddy Piper's just going to town, mowing people down, and he's a crack shot because he's got like this machine gun, and he's just moving back and forth like that and hitting everybody. So but eventually the numbers get too much, and
his friend has one of their watches.
yeah, his
of
friend
the
has
aliens.
one of the alien watches that he got from somebody in the meeting, because the guy in the meeting was like, I can't. He's like, I'm trying to work it and see if I can get the teleporter thing to work. So Roddy Piper's friend has it, and like he has it with him. But when all this melee ensues, they get trapped in this alleyway, and his friend grabs the watch, and he's trying to do something with it, and he drops it, and it forms this little
this hole.
which we're assuming is a teleportation hole.
Yeah, it teleports them to this other place.
Yeah, somewhere.
And then it closes up.
And
yeah.
And Roddy Piper's like, jump through, you know, and the guy's like, I don't want to jump through. There's no telling where that goes. And Roddy Piper's like, oh, hey, you know, it's better in here. So they both jump through, and the whole closes.
They end up in a building.
Yeah, they ended up in a building, and I guess it's the.
It's where the signal is.
Yes, I guess it's the
It's
television.
a TV station.
It's a TV
building,
station,
yeah.
and it's where they're actually having a huge banquet. Like the aliens are having a big banquet for the humans that are
On their side.
and who have sold out to them. And they also walk past some sort of. It's like a transit station where the people get beamed to the aliens' homeworld.
Yeah, they get to see how they get beamed off.
Yeah, so, but they meet up with somebody at the banquet.
It's the guy that was a bum.
Yeah, it was the guy who was a bum.
But now he's apparently gotten riches from the aliens.
Yeah,
so now
because
he's
sold
working
out.
with them.
And that guy is actually the one who shows them where this transit station is and where they come from.
Yeah, he starts giving them a tour of the facility.
Yeah.
And then they eventually come to the where the stations actually, where the reporters actually broadcast from.
Yeah.
And when they end up there, there's a couple of guards, and he asks for their passes, and Roddy Piper and the other guy shoot the guards dead.
Yeah.
And then they start their way through the TV station, and then they start working their way towards the roof.
Yeah.
And along the way, they run into the girl that Evelyn.
Yeah,
You call her Evelyn.
Yeah.
But I forget her character's
Yeah.
name in this. But they run into her, and they take her with them.
And she actually works at the station.
Yeah, she's
actually.
That's while they're there. Piper is looking for her.
Yeah.
He keeps asking for her, and because she's the station manager, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And he keeps asking if anybody knows where she is. So eventually they find her, and she joins them, and they're all going to go to the roof to turn the signal off. And as they're making their way to the roof, she stays behind with Piper's friend as Piper goes to the roof, and she pulls a gun out and she shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
And then when she comes out on the roof, she has a gun and she, holds it to Piper, and you find out she's not a good guy. She's a bad guy.
Yeah.
She's trying to get him to not destroy the signal and to just go back with her and give in to them.
Yeah.
And
because she's not an alien, but she's one of the humans that works for him.
And she doesn't want to kill him, but she wants him to get. I guess she has kind of grown attached to him in a way.
I guess so, which is weird because she hasn't spent much time with him. Yeah. So,
but he puts his gun down, and then he has a secret gun hidden in his sleeve, and he pulls it out and shoots her.
Yeah.
And then he shoots, and there's a helicopter out with aliens in it that's come out while he's out there too. He shoots the whatever's making the signal beam out.
It's like a satellite dish or something.
He shoots it, blows it up, and as he does, he gets killed.
Yeah.
And then he gives the helicopter the finger as he dies.
Yeah.
In his final act of defiance.
Yeah.
And then we start seeing scenes of the aliens and people being able to see them for real.
Yeah.
Like the aliens on the news giving the broadcast.
Yeah.
And how the people are able to see what they really are.
The cameraman's like, oh, what's happened to your face? And like you see people, like the anchorman's like, what? And like everybody's running around because he's in his alien form. He's unmasked, And I think the closing one is the lady having sex.
Yeah, and
she looks down at him. She's like, oh.
Yeah, and it turns out he's an alien.
He's an alien. He's like, what? What?
Yeah. And that's the movie.
That's the movie. Like it ends. I would say. I mean, even though Roddy Piper dies, and that's kind of it kind of sucks, but because you don't want to see Roddy Piper die.
You don't want to see your hero die in this kind of movie. It's not like horror that he should have died. I think it's more, it's more sci-fi-ish.
Yeah, but I mean, it does end on a good note because now the whole world can see these aliens. Like Roddy Piper sacrificed himself so the whole world can see the truth,
and they could wake up and
they can
see
wake up. You know, so his death wasn't in vain.
No, it wasn't in vain. But yeah, that's the movie. Yeah. I enjoy it. I've seen it. It's been a long time since I've seen it. It was hard for me to recall things when we were watching it, and then being able to watch it again, I was like, oh yeah. But it's got some one-liners in it for you. Yeah. It's got Piper in it, and we love Piper.
Yeah, Roddy Piper's always great.
And I like the movie a lot. Like I said, I'd be interested to know exactly more in detail how they found out about they found the signal, but how they found out about the aliens, and maybe more about what happens now that they know about the aliens. How do the humans get rid of them? Or is there a big war that's going to happen now between the aliens and the humans? I wonder what happens next.
I mean, they could easily do a sequel to it. I
don't know if they ever would, but
because it's probably not in too high of a demand as far as
but there are things to explore.
But there's definitely aspects of the story to explore. So I mean,
so it would have been cool to see some of that stuff, either in this movie, or maybe they wouldn't really necessarily have time in this to. It was an hour and a half. I mean, they really. Yeah. I mean, they could have maybe gone to 2 hours if they wanted to, but I can understand that they didn't have time to go into all of that stuff. And it's got a good beginning, middle, and end. You get your whole story in it. Yeah. But there are things I would love to see explored in it. But I definitely give it 3.5 to 4 stars for my enjoyment. I liked it a lot. I recommend giving it a watch if you like action, if you like. Piper, if you like sci-fi.
Yeah. You said action, right? Like, if you like
action, sci-fi, Roddy Piper. It's a good movie.
I would have to say my rating would be 3.5 to 4 stars. I really really enjoy this. I'm a pretty big fan of John Carpenter anyway. So it's like you can definitely tell it's a John Carpenter movie. Everything from the music to the way it's shot. I mean, I think it's a very well made movie. If I have one criticism, like you're talking about the repetitiveness of the same, like
the music,
the walking theme.
Mine,
it's kind of difficult because I don't want to say this movie drags, but there's a lot of walking scenes where they're just walking to different places, and
they probably could have had more time to do other stuff if they cut some of that.
It's not enough to really take you out of the movie, but it seems like there's a little too many walking scenes, like how they're playing the walking theme, and they're basically Roddy Piper walking from here to there. I mean, it does seem that they could have trimmed that back a little bit, but like I said, it's nothing that would take you out of the movie. And Roddy Piper's one-liners are phenomenal, and I think the performances, the acting is pretty good. I mean, Roddy's a wrestler, but I would say he's capable as a leading action star. I mean,
yeah.
He's not the greatest actor ever.
No, he's not the greatest actor, but
he's capable of.
He's Piper.
Yeah, he's Piper. I mean, he's entertaining.
He's entertaining. He's definitely entertaining.
But he suited this movie very well. So I mean, he carried the movie, I think, very well, and the social commentary, is a pretty big theme in the movie, about consumerism and people, the rich getting richer and the poor getting poor, but I mean, even if you don't want to think about the social commentary, it's still an entertaining action
can just
sci-fi.
Watch it for a sci-fi movie, but
yeah,
that is They Live.
I do recommend it. I mean, I'd definitely check it out.
So thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for our next film. It'll be coming soon.
Yep.
Our nation, our ideal of vision.
Excuse
We don't want
me.
to just survive.
You know,
We want to
you look like your head
succeed.
fell in the cheese dip back in 1957. You're okay. This one, real fucking ugly. You see, I take these glasses off, she looks like a regular person, doesn't she, huh? Put them back on, formaldehyde face. That's what we got.
That's enough out of you. You get out or I call the cops.
Call the cops. You know what you need? You need a Brazilian plastic surgeon.
I've got one that can see.